Many of us move through life believing the outside world holds all the answers. We think connection, success, and meaning exist somewhere beyond our front door, waiting to be discovered. So we force ourselves to go out, to be social, to stay busy. Yet for some people, the gentle atmosphere of home feels more authentic than any crowded room ever could. This video will reveal why certain people genuinely flourish at home, what science tells us about temperament and personal space, and how staying in can reflect self-awareness rather than fear. By the end, you will know the psychology behind why some people prefer to stay home. Stay until the end, as I will give you a practical 3-step method for preserving your energy while remaining connected to the world. Let's move to our first concept. Let's begin with a group of people called introverts. Introversion differs fundamentally from shyness. Shyness involves fear of what others think, while introversion simply means preferring lower levels of external input. Many people who seek quiet spaces feel completely at ease in their own skin at an intensity level that would leave someone more outgoing feeling understimulated. They lean toward settings that allow them to process thoughts before speaking and to communicate through writing or intimate conversation rather than group discussion. Personal spaces, familiar studios, and quiet corners often satisfy them more than bustling venues because these environments align with how their nervous system naturally operates instead of flooding it. When scientists examine introverts alongside extroverts, a distinct pattern surfaces. Introverts choose depth over breadth. They want fewer simultaneous tasks, more measured timing, and the kind of sustained focus that generates excellent work. Socially, they observe more than they control conversations, dislike superficial chit-chat, and pursue extended, substantive discussions with a select few people. Hours at home provide them the continuous space to maintain this thorough work approach. The reward is not escape from life, but sharper thinking, more stable emotions, and a feeling of operating from strength instead of perpetually compensating for who they are not. Furthermore, our society frequently confuses output with capability and treats being perpetually on as proof of worth. Educational institutions and offices designed around collaborative projects, open layouts, and quick verbal back and forth can drain quieter individuals and make them feel like they live too much inside their heads. On the other hand, home serves as the counterbalance, a location where you control the pace, bounce back from excessive input, and perform your finest thinking without needing to perform for anyone. Choosing home in this framework represents self-understanding, not retreat. Often, quiet capabilities manifest as thoroughness, measured speech, and deep listening, traits that are not always recognized as valuable to the outside world. People who prefer staying home are not dodging the world. They are regenerating their resources so they can adequately deploy them when they re-enter it. That brings us to what home itself signifies on a more profound level. Place attachment describes the emotional connection between people and their physical environments. Home represents the most personal form of this connection, constructed through repeated routines, layered memories, and the care we put into organizing our surroundings. Items, arrangements, and habits get configured to match the individual rather than accommodate the masses. This alignment reduces mental strain because you stop scanning for danger or decoding complex social rules, allowing your attention to settle. Over time, that comfort begins to weave into your sense of self. The sanctuary quality of a home comes from the autonomy it offers. At home, you establish limits, regulate sensory experiences, and design transitions like when to begin, end, and rest. That independence cultivates a feeling of capability, which settles the body and focuses the mind. Home also becomes the place where your social mask drops away. Without pressure to impress, emotions get processed truthfully, and emotional balance naturally improves. Moreover, connection to a place carries a communal element as well. Living spaces and local areas develop shared significance around front steps, kitchens, gathering spots, and nearby parks. Even for someone drawn to solitude, those local bonds make home feel secure and supported by something beyond themselves. The more a space accumulates meaning, whether through old photographs, a chair worn smooth with use, or a spot where you write, the more it transforms into a personal haven that replenishes your resources after facing public demands. Furthermore, disruptions to an environment show how deeply a person's identity and physical space intertwine. Following jolts like neighborhood crime, ownership changes, or environmental disasters, people either pull back or rally to restore what home symbolizes. For many who favor home, minor repairs like reorganizing a room, addressing a neglected space, or mending something broken function as emotional medicine that reestablishes control and calms worry. Home also protects dignity. For people facing marginalization or exhaustion, the apartment or bedroom becomes the single sphere where systems are not touched by outside forces. Arranging it to mirror principles like displaying books, maintaining a meaningful altar, or keeping a desk uncluttered becomes a repeated act of self-declaration. Across months and years, these minor acts solidify a steady sense of self that can confront external instability. Yet home is not merely a physical location. It also provides the setting for something equally vital: solitude. First, we must understand that chosen solitude differs from loneliness. Solitude creates a setting that satisfies fundamental needs for independence, genuine emotional work, and contemplation. Without others watching, you can abandon image management and think lucidly about your desires, feelings, and next steps. For many people, that lucidity fuels motivation rather than opposing it. Furthermore, peaceful solitude deepens processing capacity. Introverts especially want to concentrate on one worthwhile task, operating methodically rather than jumping between multiple things. Home permits that singular attention with no travel deadline, fewer disruptions, and no perpetual micromanagement. The result is stronger memory, more creative connections, and projects that reach completion more often. Moreover, creativity flourishes in solitude because practical development requires room, physical and mental. Throughout history, many innovations attributed to famous figures with magnetic personalities were actually constructed during extended, peaceful hours when concepts could be tested without social interference. When people who cherish home defend that space by reserving an evening, they are not being antisocial. They are arranging a space where creative ideas and potential breakthrough can take root. Listening, one of the defining capabilities of introverts, actually begins with internal listening. You see, solitude allows physical signals like muscle tension, weariness, or excitement to register early, before they escalate into difficulties. That inner awareness enhances how you later attend to others. Surprisingly, those who consistently choose alone time often bring greater attentiveness to conversations because they have not exhausted themselves with constant interaction. The raw truth is that highly sensitive individuals, and many introverts, require recovery intervals following stimulation peaks. Alone time at home becomes the restoration space with reduced brightness, gentler sound, known textures, and reliable patterns. These conditions signal the nervous system to transition from overactivation to renewal, making the next outing more manageable. Bypassing the cycle triggers irritation and a mistaken narrative that you dislike people when the body simply requires resetting. For people who treasure home, solitude is where development takes root. Recording thoughts after a difficult day, organizing the week, or rehearsing something until mastery are private practices that transform experience into wisdom. Across months, they build into your identity, and you become someone who trusts their own mind. That quiet assurance travels with you, making the external world easier to move through on your own terms. Still, one quality prevents this affection for home from sliding into isolation. In studies of aging, homebound status describes daily existence largely restricted to home, with gradations from freely mobile to semi-homebound to fully homebound. As time passes, entering those limited categories connects to declining health, increased hospital visits, and heavier caregiver demands. The question becomes, who slides into homebound status and who maintains access? Long-term research reveals that certain personality traits, particularly conscientiousness, provides answers. Following older adults who moved freely at the study's start, elevated conscientiousness predicted reduced likelihood of becoming semi-homebound or homebound 3 years later, even accounting for age, education, medical conditions, physical limitations, worry, and sadness. Other qualities like sociability and openness appeared protective initially, but disappeared once health and background were considered. The reliable finding is that methodical, planning-oriented people were less likely to become trapped at home. So why does conscientiousness offer protection? As it turns out, adults high in conscientiousness maintain patterns that preserve movement and emotional steadiness, such as physical activity, following medical instructions, and avoiding dangerous behaviors. They also anticipate obstacles before they accumulate. Those patterns interrupt the downward spiral where discomfort triggers inactivity. Inactivity triggers weakness, and weakness triggers avoidance, transforming voluntary staying in into forced staying in. Practically, this resembles arranging transportation, dividing tasks into manageable pieces, and preparing the evening before. Semi-homebound status, where you still venture out, but only with assistance or considerable difficulty, was where conscientiousness proved most significant. That stage is where minor regulatory actions like employing helpful devices, using reminders, considering weather, or contacting a neighbor preserve access to the broader world. Conscientious individuals who love home tend to view home as an efficiently managed base rather than a prison. They build systems that allow them to select solitude without sacrificing connection to wider experiences. Crucially, loving home differs from homebound vulnerability. The distinction is self-management, employing organization tools, time structures, spatial design, and energy awareness to prevent chosen solitude from becoming unwanted isolation. Conscientious, home-loving people intentionally schedule social contact through phone calls or brief visits, combine errands strategically, and keep medical appointments even when the remaining week is peacefully quiet. In the end, high conscientiousness individuals who love home are not escaping life. They are designing it. By safeguarding extended periods for concentrated work and restoration, and by arranging small, sustainable ventures outside, they achieve equilibrium between renewal and participation. That equilibrium keeps home a sanctuary and stops it from becoming a cage. With that said, let us move to the practical section. Today, we will be sharing with you the Haven method, which provides a 3-step approach to preserve your energy daily. This method builds on everything we have explored, respecting your temperament, honoring home as sanctuary, embracing solitude's value, and applying conscientiousness to stay connected without depleting yourself. First, prepare your space. Select one restorative area at home and adjust it for minimal stimulation with gentle lighting, low volume, comfortable seating, and one significant object. Recognize your primary overstimulation sources like noise, crowds, or unexpected alerts. Pick 2 management strategies you will apply daily, such as shutting a door, storing your phone elsewhere, or choosing a lamp over ceiling lights. These consistent boundaries help your nervous system downshift. Second, commit to daily practice for 15 to 30 minutes. Complete one protected solitude activity that embodies the depth over breadth principle. Conscious breathing, reflective writing, reading or studying, or focused handiwork. Single activity only. No dividing attention, no interruptions. Keep it straightforward and repeatable with identical location, time window, and opening. Use a minimal plan by stating one intention before starting, like reading 10 pages, writing for 12 minutes, or practicing scales. Finish with a single-line observation about what restored you and what to adjust tomorrow. Third, integrate weekly for 20 to 30 minutes. Maintain home as sanctuary without drifting into isolation. Schedule 2 anchors. One meaningful connection, like a conversation, individual meeting, or small gathering that understands you, and one outside brief task or walk. Organize them thoughtfully by selecting low-drain times, grouping activities, securing transportation or prompts, and keeping lengths brief but substantial. Refresh your space attachment by tidying your area, changing one environmental element, and clearing clutter that increases mental burden. Conduct a quick assessment of your energy, emotional state, and social balance. If loneliness appears, increase connection. If overstimulated, reduce outings and expand recovery time. Repeat weekly. You are not escaping the world. You are calibrating it, so your sharpest thinking, creativity, and peace begin at home and accompany you outward. We hope this helps you. At the end of the day, why a person prefers to stay home is their choice. Home is not withdrawal from life. Home is where life originates, where you rest enough to be able to offer more to the world. Though the world will perpetually demand more noise, more output, more social display, you get to decline, to adjust the volume, and to construct a life that matches your unique needs. Thank you for joining me on this exploration into the psychology of people who love staying at home. If this resonated, please share one way you preserve your energy at home in the comments below, and subscribe to get weekly psychology content designed to help you transform your life. Until next time.